Hello, biology world. Purpose of these notes is to give students in my sixth period class who are absent an opportunity to do the 10-1 class notes, or to give students that were doing their notes by hand and did not get a chance to write everything down an opportunity to finish them up. Again, class notes, remember, we always number them. This will be 1 through 5 rows, 2 columns if you're doing a Google Doc. And we also always do them in Cornell note style, which means draw a line down the center of your page. Questions are going to go on the left. Answers are going to go on the right. If you are a new student and you continue to do your notes in not Cornell note style, you will lose points every time you do that. It takes me longer to look at them, read them, analyze them to make sure that you're doing them all. I want it easy for me, okay? And that's not because I'm selfish or lazy. It's just simply because do it in the format that I want. It's not that big of a deal. All right, here we go. Problems with cell growth. We talked about this. The larger it gets, the more demands it places on DNA. Also, moving things into the cell through the membrane, moving things out of the cell through the membrane, it's more difficult. Limits to cell growth. So the rate of food, oxygen, water, waste moved in and out depends on the surface area of the cell. Literally the three-dimensional area that you calculate around the outside of the cell, and then the three-dimensional area on the inside of the cell, which we call the cell's volume. So it's that balance of surface area and volume that determine the size of a cell and how big a cell can grow before it divides. Okay, getting ready to move ahead in about 30 seconds. Again, if I'm going too fast, do a screenshot. Take a picture with your phone. Get the notes from somebody else. Wait to watch my video. Lots of options. All right, here we go. Okay, we call cells after division daughter cells. And in mitosis, daughter cells are identical to the parent cell. That's the idea. Of course, remember, if you have a mutation, okay, that technically would make the DNA and the chromosomes of the daughter cells different from the DNA of the parent cell. So this is assuming no mutations take place. The daughter cells would be identical. Process creates daughter cells in cell division. And there are 2 types of cell division. Mitosis produces daughter cells that are identical, 2 of them. Meiosis produces daughter cells that are different from the parent cells, and it produces 4 of them. Two types. Mitosis is cell division for body cells, which are also referred to as somatic, S-O-M-A-T-I-C, somatic cells. And then meiosis is cell division for sex cells or reproductive cells. They're called gametes, and those would be sperm cells, and those would be egg cells. And a major difference is you get 4 of them from meiosis, and they are genetically different than the parent cells, which makes sense because meiosis produces a sperm and an egg, and after fertilization, that produces an organism, or actually produces a zygote, and then the zygote rapidly divides into something called a blastula, and then eventually you get an embryo, and then the embryo grows into a fetus, and then the fetus grows into an infant, et cetera, et cetera. But you are not exactly like either parent. That's because the DNA you get from your parent is slightly different. A lot of the same similarities, okay, a lot of the same similarities, but not identical to the parent. Okay, a couple seconds and I'm hopping ahead. All right, that is it for the notes, believe it or not. I know they're really, really short. Okay, I'd like to get some volunteers to answer these questions, though. Too many demands are placed on what part of the cell when the cell begins to get larger? Give me some sort of a symbol. Throw up a thumb up or a thumb down or a clap, or just simply unmute yourself, wait a second or so, and then give me an answer if you'd like to participate. I know that DNA. Thank you, Josh. DNA is correct. The cells blank and blank affect its ability to move food, oxygen, water, and waste across the membrane. And if you're not sure, you might want to take a look at number 2. Somebody different, please. Go ahead.
Its surface area and its volume.
Nice job, Carmen. Kiernan, thank you for trying to participate. All right, Kiernan, if you'd like to do this one, go for it. If not, just unmute yourself and say pass, and we'll let somebody else do it. Take a look at number 5 for this one.
Cell division.
Yep.
Cell division, and then meiosis.
Meiosis goes in this one. What one goes in this one? What's body cells? Take a look at number 5. Which one does body cells?
I'm not sure how to pronounce the word.
Mitosis, meiosis. Or a lot of people say meiosis to make it sound different than the other one. So cell division creates body cells, mitosis, sex cells. Meiosis. Good. Thank you. Okay. The process by which a cell divides into two new daughter cells. What do we call that? A, B, C, or D? Sierra, go ahead, Aiden.
B.
B. That is cell division. Yeah, Sierra, I know. Nobody seems to have the ability to raise their hand. So either throw a thumbs up or something up in the participant list, or just unmute yourself if you want to participate. Or you can use the chat, although it's likely we'll get somebody answering the question before I get a chance to read it. When a growing cell undergoes cell division, each new cell gets, what do they get? Each new cell. This is kind of a logic question. Do they get half the DNA, twice the DNA, random DNA, or the exact DNA? What do you guys think? Somebody unmute themselves and give it a guess. Anytime.
Is it A?
Nope, they don't get half the DNA. That would be meiosis. They get half the DNA from the mom, half the DNA from the dad. Not mitosis, though. Somebody else give it a shot. Good, Sierra. Yeah, Sierra used the chat. It is D, like David. They get a full copy of the cell's DNA, and here's why. Remember, cells do different things, okay? Any cell, it's kind of like you guys as you're growing up. I mean, you can do anything. I mean, cells could be assigned any job in the body. Now, of course, they're going to need instructions to do that job. So every cell has a complete set of instructions just in case they ever need those instructions. So during mitosis, every single cell gets all the DNA. Meiosis, it gets cut in half because you're going to get the other half from the other parent. All right, you guys, that is it for the notes. Let me stop my share here.